when you let go, you can become more that you're supposed to be, because you're releasing control and you're trusting that God got you, like for real, good or bad or indifferent. Hello, thank you for clicking on this video. I just wanted to come and talk about something that I've been thinking about lately, and something I've been actively introducing into my lifestyle. And that's basically letting go of the idea of having control. And this is something that was brought to my attention. It came to me at a time where I was really, really feeling like I made a wrong turn in life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I felt like I was just lost, and I felt very trapped in my own life, right? And during that process, it just so happened that I was told something that made me really think. I was told quite a bit, but I was told something that made me really think about things, and it helped me to shift my perspective. And the thing that I was told was, well, there were two things. The first thing was you have to figure out who you are and what you like, and then you have to try to figure out how to make that a part of your everyday life, which was super important for whoever needs to hear that. The second thing was you have to stop thinking that you have control over things. You have control to a certain degree. Like you can prepare for things. You can choose how you respond to things, but whatever comes your way has nothing to do with you. You are not God. Like you're not in control to that capacity. And at first when I feel like this is something people hear all the time. But at first I was like, you know what? Like I hear you, but there's always that but. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see what changes and how do I feel when I consciously make the decision to believe that God, the Most High, the creator of everything, is the one controlling what happens around me. And it's my job to respond according to what I'm allowed to do underneath God, So and of course, still keeping that human part of me as well. So not thinking I'm going to do everything perfect, but accepting the fact that I'm going to mess up, which is another reason why I need to take the responsibility off of myself of thinking that I'm in control. I actively try to really live in that. And I have to tell you, it's shifted something for sure. It's definitely shifted something. It's given me a sense of peace, but it's also giving me a sense of reverence to God and just how powerful, that entity is, to be able to construct life in a way with all of its mechanisms and all of its, the way that it's cultivated, the way that it's made, all of its existence, just life. It's very humbling to know that you're just a part of life. And I wanted to come on here just to encourage you, or to give you the idea to challenge yourself, especially if you're like me and you struggle with, wanting to be in charge and control of everything. I would challenge you to release that. And there's a sense of trust that comes from that. There's a sense of belief and faith, but there's a sense of trust that comes with that. That saying, everything happens for a reason. It's like, how much do you really believe that though? Even when something bad happens, and trust me, when I started doing this little challenge for myself, there were a few bad things that started to happen. And I literally had to be like, you know what? Okay, let's look at the brighter side. This could have gone way more wrong if I would have, I'll just tell you guys. So my tire completely blew out. I mean, it was terrible. And what's interesting is right before it happened, I literally said, everything happens for a reason. And I was on my way to work, and I was literally like 3 to 5 minutes away. As soon as I took the exit, the tire blew. Blew. And I had to try to make it onto like the parking lot. Luckily I did, right? It could have been way worse. It could have been a totally different situation. And I say that to say, the amount it cost me because I was irresponsible and I didn't fix it in the first place when I knew I needed to change my tire, that's a whole nother thing. We can choose what we respond to, right? But the whole point is, I ended up spending way more money than I wanted to and needed to. But I had to look at it and be like, you know what? This is a part of something bigger. And even if it's not like a monumental change in life, right? The point that I'm trying to make is you don't choose what happens to you. You choose how you respond to it. You choose your attitude and your mindset that you're going to have when you're going through it. And yes, everything could have been just messed up, like I could have not been able to go to work that day. I could have had a bad attitude with all of my clients that day. I could have cried because I spent money. I could have, in my mind, shut down and say, you know what, I don't have enough to do X, Y, and Z. None of that would have helped me. And you know what happened? When you let go of that fear and that control, and you really believe that God is doing everything for a reason, there were so many other things that opened up that I was still able to go and attend and be a part of and enjoy, just because I didn't let that stop me from being happy, or I didn't allow that to dull my mindset, or I didn't allow that to just take me off course. And sometimes you are taken off course on purpose to be rerouted for your next course, for your new course. And it's so crazy how we have conditioned ourselves in this time of life to believe that we're the ones setting everything up, like, for us to experience. It's honestly baffling. And so anyways, I just wanted to come on to remind you, or to give you that challenge or that boost, that motivation to just go ahead and like let go. Like, release your grip on life just a little bit. Not to say become lazy or to stop being who you are, or to become irresponsible. Nothing like that. When you let go, you can become more that you're supposed to be, because you're releasing control and you're trusting that God got you, like, for real, good or bad or indifferent. Like, that's when you really can focus on becoming a better you. And then once you see how God actually does work through experiences, good or bad, and your trust builds, that's when you can start building yourself to go back towards where he needs you to be, where you're supposed to be headed. And so it's just crazy how we think that we're in control. We do all these planning and preparing, and then God is like, you know what? This is going to happen on this day, and I need you to choose how you're going to respond to it. And it's literally that simple, but that complex at the same time. And it's a beautiful thing, y'all. Like, it really is. And there's just so much out there. And another thing is, when you don't release control, it's so easy to get trapped in the rat race of life that us humans have created, because that's not how it's supposed to be. But when you release control, there's so many new opportunities that come your way that you're able to see things differently. And you're like, you know what? It like opens your mind like in a different way. And the only thing you can do is just smile and be grateful to God. Like, wow, like, life is just, it's a beautiful thing to be alive, y'all. That's the best way I can put it. And of course, every day is not going to feel like that. But if you can remember that there's always something worse that could have happened, all the way up until the point of you not being here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're still here, there's something to be happy about. There's something to be grateful for. There's something to praise God for. There's something to, and even if you feel like you have nothing, take that time to just set aside time to pray, like multiple times a day if you can. Like, anytime that you just get the thought, let me pray, or man, like, whatever it is, go pray and thank God just for being what it is, so you can remember and train your mind to remember you're not in control. And that is a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. And see how you start to feel differently. And then when you start feeling differently, you'll start doing things differently. And when you start doing things differently, you start changing the trajectory and the motion of your life. And that is such a beautiful way to rise up to the occasion on multiple levels. So yeah, I just wanted to come on and, give my little dissertation on what I've actually been practicing lately. It's going really well, and I can't wait to see what else comes my way. All right, y'all. Bye.